week's episode of The Enthusiast, Lee Falk Celebrates 113th birthday and so much more on this week's episode of The Enthusiast. What? You're listening to the best Phantom podcast for Phantom fans. In the quickfire news this week, two publications will be releasing The Phantom, issue number 1970, and the next Phantom comic, which will be coming out on sale the 9th of May 2024, which will be titled The Stolen Rings in issue number 1970. I am thinking, because this hit chart that we're seeing up on the screen right now, I have a slight feeling that is Percy Okahoa art. So if that is Percy Okahoa art, that means that we could be seeing a brand new story done by Percy Okahoa and possibly wrote by Peter Anderson. Now, I'm going to be holding myself accountable for this, because if this isn't what I think it is, what I really think it is, it's got to be like the biggest non-potential stuffer that Brad Kelly has ever done on this channel. Like, I predicted a lot of things, but I reckon that I'm deadly sure that this has got to be a new story by Peter Anderson and Percy Okahoa. If that's not it, then I don't know what's going to be it. Well, it could even be that the Rabbitohs this year might even still make the final. Well, that could be something. If that actually happens, I'll be eating my words at this current point in time. Okay, the other thing we've got to talk about in the quickfire news this week is that I have recently, yes, Brad has finally picked up his last couple Phantom comics from the news agency. And we're going to be talking about that today, right on this episode. Okay, in issue number... In the calling name, in issue number 1968, we have The Phantom, the Boy Detectives. Now, this cover has been done by Lauren Marshall. Now, I have said many things about Lauren Marshall's artworks in the past, but this cover actually surprises me into that it's not as... I initially thought it was going to be very, very saturated, like one of the other covers that I have talked about on the channel before. But this cover doesn't seem to be overly saturated. Like, it doesn't seem to be overly saturated. Like, if you just take it as this is the cover that we're seeing, it doesn't look overly saturated. It just looks like all the colors are meant to be there and just supporting each and every one of the other colours that are also there. And another thing that also this cover instantly grabs your attention, which is, I think, the main purpose of this cover is to pretty much say, look at that cover. That sort of grabs my attention, like, instantly. But the other thing that it is that this cover, I think, it's very cartoony. It's very, very cartoony. And I think that we're going to be seeing a lot more cartoony covers, I reckon, by Lauren Marshall into the future. Whether for good or whether for bad, that is yet to be seen. But this cover is definitely one of her better ones, I reckon. Now, the next book that came out in the last couple of weeks, it came out, I think, in the previous week or something, and it was The Phantom, issue number 1969. It is The Enter the Phantom. It is done by Baetz. It's done Marcelo Baetz. Don't you just love it when you nearly forget a person's name that has done the cover art for this Phantom comic? This Phantom cover is done by Marcelo Baetz. Now, one of the things that I had with this Phantom cover is it's a little confusing and loses my attention because at one point you're looking at this, at another point you're looking at this, and then at that other point you turn over the cover and you're looking at purple skulls. Now, how cool are those purple and red and white and yellow skulls? Like, have a look at that, the blown up pirate ship. Have a look at the, I swear the oath of privacy, greed, and cruelty. Like, have a look at that. It looks, in one way it looks very, very amazing. In another way, it looks very, very confusing. Like, you're trying to figure out, am I supposed to be looking at 1 point, 2 points, or like 3 points? Or am I supposed to just be traveling around the image like it's just like it's a Christmas vacation? Vacation movie. Just give it a little slap. Just give it a little scratch. Vacation movies so good. Like, Liam Poon's vacation movies, like, they're just got to be some of the best all-round comedies movies of all time. Now, Brad's just said that we are getting on, and we are going to be getting on to what else is coming up on this week's show. Well, in the creator news this week, Jeff Weigel's Sunday, I'm going to be having a look at Jeff Weigel's new Sunday storyline, and there's a post that he posted, a picture of the storyline up on the screen, and we're going to be having a look at that very, very soon. We've got a new segment called Birthday Central. It is Lee Falk celebrates his birthday this week. We're going to be talking about that. And we've got a brand new segment, which is called Brad's Creations. Presents something out of the ordinary, so wait for that. Next up, in this week's Creators News, Jeff Weigel has posted another new photo of the current Sunday storyline that he is currently working on at this current time. Like, at this current time, he's drawing, he's creating history, and he's doing that on the Sunday storyline. It's like just taking a moment in, taking with tea and cup of coffees, and he's just doing it on the Sunday storyline. Today on the Sunday storyline, Jeff Weigel posts a new picture that we have left to be intrigued by. And that story could potentially be about some unknown invader, trade routes, and many more. Jar Jar Binks. It's Star Wars Day today. Woo! Star Wars Day. Jar Jar Binks here thinks it could be a great idea, a great night for roasting some marshmallows on our fire. It could be a great idea to be roasting marshmallows on our fire. Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks. He's such a great character in the Star Wars universe. Like, he's one of the most funniest characters in the Star Wars movies, and you gotta get around him. You just gotta get around him. Jar Jar Binks thinks this. Oh, it's so great. And you can now watch my show like Jar Jar Binks does, The Enthusiast on Encore and Spotify, The Enthusiast where the passion for the Phantom doesn't waver. New episodes weekly on Tuesdays, and I will also be putting a link to the podcast in the description down below. In Birthday Central this week, the original creator of Mandrake the Magician and the Phantom, Lee Falk, celebrates his 113th birthday. To the legend who created the Phantom, my favourite comic book character, I would like to wish him a very happy birthday, even though he isn't around anymore, which is very, very sad. But he created two heroes and legends that would leave millions around the world still thinking of him today. So to Lee Falk, thank you for creating the Phantom. Thank you for creating a Lee Falk creation, a comic book character that millions around the world still appreciate today. So thank you. Again, thank you, Lee Falk, for creating the Phantom and Mandrake the Magician, even though you're still not around to this day to witness what else could be happening with the characters that you originally created back in the 1930s. Thank you. And you can now get 14% off on all things Homer's Press with the code Enthusiast 2022, all in one word. Whether you're looking for something new to read on our afternoons after hard days' work, or you're just looking for something else to add to your collection, there's always something new for you at Homer's Press. Always something new at Homer's Press for you to have a look at. You can get 14% off at Homer's Press by using the code Enthusiast 2022, all in one word, when you visit Homer's Press today. This week's new segment is Brad's Creations, presenting... Oh no, but I'm not spoiling that. You're going to have to guess. What has Brad recently made that he's so proud of? He is so proud of that he just can't hold it in anymore longer. Mad Scientist Brad. Yes, that's the catchphrase for this week. Mad Scientist Brad has been making something that could rival the great Albert Einstein himself. Not really, but it could. It could potentially. I have made something so great. Is it a car? No. Is it a flying saucer? Well, if it was, then a lot of people would be seeing green lights going up here right now. It's a phantom plane! Yes. Okay. Brad has made a very, very great invention. It's a phantom plane. It is Brad's original phantom plane. Maybe it might make even more sense if I turn it around. So, okay, we've got the mask. That's all said and done. It joins up to the other side of the mask. It's purple. It has the skull mark. It has the good mark ring, and for extra camouflaging abilities, it has black paint. Yeah, for camouflaging during its emissions in the jungle and going from jungle to New York City. I love the mad scientist Brad made a phantom plane, and he's so proud of it. He is so proud of it. Yes. But the lasting question that we have, as I said, it's got a mask, it's purple, and it's built ready to fly. Probably not, because it would nosedive before it even takes off. Like, it would nosedive before it even has taken off. Like, who's standing up lift off? Not really, because she's down on the grass and she's down for the count. Oh, that was so funny. I think it was funny. Okay, we don't just have that. In the past, I've made one other Phantom-related creations. In the past, I've made many, but this is in the past, I have made a wooden sign having Skull Cave etched in wood. Have a look at that. So cool. I made this a couple of years ago. That's why it's in the past. It's only been shown on the Phantom channel once in its entire lifestyle. And it also, I'll be putting a little picture up for it, but it also has a couple skull markings, and it's so cool. It looks like it's literally came off a old wooden ship. Plus, it's got a lot of dust on it, like it hasn't been cleaned for a good while. This is what it looks at the back. So you have a little piece of wire that's attached to the back so you can hang it on to things. But yeah, it looks cool. It's amazing. And the scientist Brad, mad scientist Brad, has even made this. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty awesome. One of my absolute favorite things about the Phantom is that you can it's not licensed, but you can make stuff at home that you can put on your wall and say, oh yes, I'm a Phantom obsessed person and I love the Phantom so much that I made something about the Phantom to put on my wall. So yeah, awesome. What is your favorite Phantom story by Lee Falk? And comment your suggestions down below what your favorite Phantom story is by the legendary creator Lee Falk. If you enjoy Phantom Cave reviews, then subscribe to see more great videos like this. And as always, keep Phantom Caving, stay safe, and may the 4th be with you. Yeah, this dude is a very big Star Wars fan, so